study. We've talked about Joseph, we've talked about Moses, Abraham, several other people. What's the first thing you think about when you hear the name Balaam? Balaam. False god. False prophet, false gods. If you will, on page 28, look at the reference there is Numbers 22 through 24. And obviously the children of Israel have exited. They made their departure from Egypt. They got away from Pharaoh. They're in the wilderness. They're traveling. And we'll read it quickly. Chapter 22 of Numbers. The children of Israel set forward and pitched the plains of Moab on the side of Jordan by Jericho. And Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. If you back up, what had they done to the Amorites? What did they do? They were at war. Verse 32 earlier in chapter 21. They drove them out of their villages and the Amorites that were there. So they were basically running over these people. The things that the Egyptians were afraid of is actually coming true now. The Egyptians were afraid that they would grow in number and basically overwhelm the Egyptians if they decided to do so. And that's exactly what they were doing as they came through these different cities in this journey in the wilderness, wandering, you might say. Different cities were overthrown, and as God was with them, they kept marching and kept taking cities. And Moab was sore afraid of the people because they were many. And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said to the Midians, now shall this company lick up all around us, as the ox licketh up the grass of the field. And Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moabites, at this time. And he sent messengers before to Balaam, the son of Beor, to Pethor, which is by the river and the land of the children of the people, to call him, saying, behold, there is a people come out of Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now thither, I pray thee, and curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, and we may spite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I want that he whom thou hast blessed is blessed, and thou curseth is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in hand. And they came to Balaam and spake unto him words of Balak. And he said unto them, lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. And God came to Balaam and said, what men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto God, Balak the son of Zippor, and king of Moab, has sent them unto me, saying, behold, there is people come out of Egypt, which cover the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them. Peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. And God said to Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the persons of Balak, get you into your land, for the Lord refuses to give thee leave to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak, and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. And Balak sent yet again princes, more and more honorable than the first, or than they. And they came to Balaam, and said to him, thus saith Balak the son of Zippor, let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming to me. For I will promote thee to a very great honor, and I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me, come to thee. Therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. And Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God, to do less or to do more. Now therefore I pray you, tarry here ye this night, that I may know that the Lord saith to me more. And God came to Balaam that night, and said to him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I say unto thee, thou shalt do. And Balaam rose up in the morning and sat on his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled against the king because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for the adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword was drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went to the field. And Balaam smote the ass and turned her into the way again. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path at the vineyards, and the wall being on the side, and the wall on this side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. And he smote her yet again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place. There was no way to turn either to the right nor to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with the staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass and said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast bitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee. And the ass said to Balaam, Am I not thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine to this day? Was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, so that he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and the sword drawn in his hand. And he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine eyes these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because of the way that perverse against me. And the ass saw me, and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now I would have slain thee, and saved her alive. And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have seen it, for I knew not that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease thee, I will give me back. And the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word shalt thou speak to thee, that I speak to thee, shalt thou speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him in the city of Moab, which is on the border of Ammon, which is the uttermost coast. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not earnestly send unto thee and call thee? Wherefore camest thou not unto me? Am I not able indeed to promote thee to honor? And Balaam said to Balak, Lo, I am come unto thee. Have I now any power at all to say anything? The word of God putteth in my mouth. That shall I say. That shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kirjath-Hunnethoth. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and said to Balaam, and to the princes that were with him, And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam, and brought him up into the high places of Balaam, that hence he might see the uttermost part of the people. Sorry about that. Chapter 22 of Numbers. We have the lack of a better word, strange use of an animal by God. At this time, God was speaking with Balaam, telling him what to say, what he would do, where he would go. Balak knew from past history that people that Balaam had cursed, people that he had blessed, blessed. But what did he offer Balaam? What were some of the things that the words that were used in this chapter? Know ye not that I can promote thee and give thee a place of high honor? Obviously, he was rich. One of the things that, if you look at what Balaam said, even if he gave me his house full of gold and silver, I couldn't come. So there was things that he basically was turning away. Sadly, a lot of things, a lot of people we know, because of that promotion, or because of the rising up above another person, will do things that aren't godly in some cases. Many times in business, we're not careful. We kind of feel we've been taken advantage of because of someone we might say is more experienced, some different wording, especially when you look at contracts today. You got to watch every word. But the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, verse 28, and allowed her to speak to Balaam. Balaam had spit at her 3 times. For some reason, he couldn't see the angel of the Lord. And basically, the angel of the Lord could have, if she would have continued, would have killed him. We don't know why God allowed that to happen. We're not told.
We were not to change his word.
Right. He told him not to go.
Trouble.
He told him not to go. But he had a choice.
I want a second opinion.
He could see, he could tell in his heart that he really wanted to go. And he basically allowed him to go. I don't think he commanded, I think he commanded him to stay, but he allowed him to go because that was his will. That was Balaam's will. And then this thing happened, chapter 22. If you look at the book, Balaam was the son of Beor, a heathen soothsayer who lived in the village between Jordan and the Valley of Euphrates River. Not much is known about him, but he said that whosoever he pronounces a blessing will be blessed, and whosoever he pronounces a curse will be cursed.
He was halfway believed.
A heathen soothsayer, but God was talking to him. I've used this chapter sarcastically in classes. I can do that. We understand that God uses things for his own will, whether it be live or inanimate, or live animals, or inanimate objects. He's already talked about the burning bush, speaking from the bush, speaking out of heaven, Jesus when he was baptized. So the voice of God has been heard, but here from an animal, or the voice, he allows the animal to speak, rather. So that's a miraculous happening. Doesn't happen today. Regardless of what some of my people I work with think, they don't speak to their dog, and their dog understands it perfectly. Does this prove that we shouldn't use animals at all? Or does this prove we should be vegetarians?
Proves that God doesn't use the speaker.
It doesn't prove really any of that. A lot of people look at that and say, well, he was blessed because he was able to speak. That's not true. You can twist some of the scriptures, some of the verses around, but you got to try hard and understand God's will be done, even in this case. Back in the book, paragraph number 2, it says, when the Israelite tribes were advancing in the Jordan Valley, by way of the country of the Amorites, Balak, king of Moab, called for Balaam to come and pronounce a curse upon the people, as we read. In Numbers 24, 5-9, he pronounced a blessing instead of curses upon his people. He spoke to about the rising star of Jacob, as he saw the Israelites below the observation point of Mount Pisgah, and the high places of Balaam worship. As Balaam journeyed to pronounce the curse of the people of God, he was rebuked by the voice of the donkey which he was riding, in Numbers 22. An angel stood before him in the path. In spite of all the commandments, warnings, and restraints which the Lord gave, he moved forward with the hope of gaining gold and silver and great honor. Balaam also induced Israel to commit sensuous sins and to eat food sacrificed to idols. The New Testament references mention the disgrace of Balaam, Jude 11, and also Revelations 2:14. We'll read that in a few minutes. He is a classic example of one who sought to do evil to the people of God, but God caused his evil to turn into good overall. The example that he's given here, at this time, the children of Israel obviously were following God's orders, God's commands, as they moved through different countries, different cities, took down different ungodly nations, destroyed different peoples. And again, we're not told why, but it was just that was the will of God, to prove in sense that he was the eternal God. Number 1 says, where was Balaam's hometown? I just read that. Number 22. between Jordan and Euphrates. Whose people? Verse 5, it says, and he sent messengers therefore unto Balaam, the son of Beor, at Pethor, P-E-T-H-O-R, Pethor. Number 2 says, his town was located near what famous river? Euphrates. What do we know about the Euphrates River? Do we know much about it? I'm going to have a little bit of time. Flip over your Bibles to one of the maps in the back. I think this is kind of interesting. All right, good. If you have one, I may not. I may have misspoke. I thought I had one that showed the nations in Genesis 10. Tigris and Euphrates. If you look, if you have a map that shows the land of Canaan, the Philistines, the Amorites, look over toward the right page of the page. From the Persian Gulf runs up northeast to Ashur and Amram, which is now Syria. The Euphrates River in Syria, obviously is in the news now. This is the same land that we're talking about. This isn't something in the fairy tale. These are all, as we read the Bible and study the Bible, it says different things about so many days' travel. If you were walking from city to city, it turns out that's about how long it would take you if you were walking those distances. The Bible is very accurate geographically. But the Euphrates River it's a very long river. It's longer than the Nile River, but it was a mighty river and basically splitting countries. And during the wilderness wanderings, they went there, using the Euphrates River to this land. If you look at we already mentioned the Amorites, the Moabites, and different nations that were taken by the children of Israel. They were a definite force to be reckoned with. They've been referenced to as covering the earth. When it talks about their exodus from Egypt, just the movement from place to place was not easy. It took a lot of work, a lot of hard work, to gather up all this equipment, all those people, all their livestock, and that everywhere they went, they always had sacrifices to give. When they built altars, they always had what they needed. They always had the lamb, they always had the ox, they always had the goat, whatever was needed, that sacrifice, they always had it. Not only was he odd, you would have thought that the Israelites would never turn, that the Jewish nation would never not obey God because of all the great things that he did for them from Exodus even until this reading here in Numbers. But later on they turned against him. Euphrates was where it was located. Who sent the messengers to contact Balaam? Who was the king of Moab there? Balak. I think I've pronounced Balaam and Bel and Balak a couple of times together there as the reading goes, but he was a different individual. He was the king of Moab. Number 4, why did King Balak ask Balaam to help him? What was his fear? He was afraid of what? He'd already seen what they'd done to the Amorites. And now basically he was saying, come curse these people. Verse 6, peradventure, I shall prevail. He wanted to beat them back. He wanted to win this battle that's coming. He wanted to be the one that's victorious. Did he ask what God's will was? No. He didn't care what God's will was. Balak wanted to know what his own justified moments, his own self. And he had heard that if the people Balaam were cursed, the people who were blessed were blessed. He was doing everything he thought in his power to make sure he would win this victory over the Israelite nation. He was afraid, I think is the key word there, that his nation would no longer exist, that he would become history and be overrun. Why were the people afraid of the children of Israel? That was the same question. Verse 2, they were sore afraid. Moab was sore afraid of the people because they were many. Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, now it's going to lick up the ground around us. And the ox licked up the grass in the field. Grass versus an ox. Grass doesn't have a chance. That's kind of the analogies they're making in their minds. They were sore afraid. Number 6, what did Balaam love? Sandra, if you'll flip over to 2 Peter 2, which I'll get you to read a little bit more than just verse 5 for us. Second Peter. If you will, start at verse 1. And go at least through verse 10, if you will. A couple of key phrases I want to bring over that's very similar to what we read there in Numbers, talking about God's people, God's will, and what He will do, what He will take care of, and what He will basically disallow. 2 Peter 2, 1 through 10, at least.
But there were false prophets also among people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in Babylonian heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves to destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, the reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now in a long time moveth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved to judgment, and spared not the whole world, and saved not the able to curse them. A preacher of righteousness bringeth blood upon the world to be ungodly, and turneth the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, and condemned them from the overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered those lost, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. That righteous man dwells among them, and seeing and hearing vexes righteous souls from day to day with their unlawful deeds. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh, and lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Presumptuous that are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of iniquities.
Are you still there?
Are
you still at that opening? Yeah. Will you pick up and read down through 17 for us? Cut Sandra off.
Starting 11.
Yes.
Where his angels which was greater in power and might, but not lacking accusation against them before the Lord. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil things that they understand not, and so utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure, riot in that day. Spots they are blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings, while they refuse to believe. Though the eye is full of adultery, they cannot cease from sin, beguiling unsavable souls, they exercise to wickedness practices. Verse 2. Which have forsaken the right way and gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Robertson, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, who was rebuked for his iniquity, the dumbass speaking with man's voice, obeyed the commandments of God. These are quails without body, clouds that are carried with the tempest, in the midst of darkness, which is heard forever.
Appreciate that reading. What did you say there? That
I said, human nature hasn't changed a bit.
it's sadly exactly the same.
Really, if you understand what's going on today, you look at it closely. Same reaction to the gospel truth.
We've turned away from God as a people. That pernicious ways in verse 2, I think it was, where is the way of truth be evil spoken of. We see that evil ways that are around us, the world, they speak evil truth that we preach and teach. They think we're unjustly condemning people.
How do you think that expression versus everything sporting? I think that means take a joy. Also,
Yeah, is there basically intertwined with your feast? They enjoy being deceived. They're enjoying sin. They enjoy these, kind of like what we talked about here with Balaam, these wages of sin, wages of iniquity, unrighteousness, physical blessings, but spiritual curses. If we're not careful. Obviously, I saw someone who posted a dollar bill, I think, folded up and said, money is the root of all evil. And I was like, no, it's the love of money, the want of money, the desire to get more money, doing things we shouldn't do, put ourselves ahead of other people. The day of judgment's coming quickly. We need to live that way. Again, talking the right way, the wrong way, the gone astray, the way of Balaam. That's a great phrase, I think, the way of Balaam. Who love the wages of unrighteousness. Here in 2 Peter, even in the New Testament, still carrying that thought through. What's our goal? What's in our heart? What's in our mind? What are we focused on? Monday morning when we get the job, or whatever our situation may be, are we Christ-like? Are we as honest up front as we should be? Or are we deceitful, sinful, liars? Hopefully not. We need to always be truthful, especially in all of our dealings. Number 7, we talked about this. What did Balak want Balaam to do? Pronounce a cursing, curse on the children of Israel. He wanted them to be cursed so that whenever they went into battle, the Moabites or the Moab, and Balak would win and defeat them. It's not in here, but did the children of Israel ever suffer defeat? Oh, yeah. They did, didn't they? What often? Like I said, I didn't do any background checks on it. But what did they always do when they suffered these defeats in the wilderness? Right. They repented. What to do first? What got them in that situation where they were being defeated? What had they done to God?
disobeyed God, what I guess.
Blame God. They turned, disobeyed God. They turned their back on God. If you think about, we didn't really do much on it, but Moses, when he went up to receive the 10th commandment law, he tarried a while, I guess is a good way to say it. It took a while for him to come back. And when he came back, the golden calf had been made. If we're left to our own devices, we will quickly turn from God. We need to build up that reliance and especially every day strengthen our prayer life and pray that we don't turn our backs away on God. Top page 29. How confident or how much confidence did Balak have on Balaam? Verse 22, verse 6. How confident was he? 100%. I think that's very clear. He had a running record. He had evidence, or he had seen that these people, when he had a curse on people, they lost and they had a blessing they won. And he wanted that. He desired that. How did the elders of Moab and Midian make their proposition appeal to Balaam? What was the appeal there in verse 7? I may have stumbled through that word a little bit. Right. The sent the princes of the land, the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with rewards of divination in their hand. They came to Balaam and spake unto him the words of Balak. Rewards of divination. We can imagine that they were willing to pay great sums of money, if you think about it, gold and silver, for this divination, this fortune telling, for a good outcome. They were willing to pay a great price. Otherwise, their gold and silver would be taken. They were afraid, obviously. Number 10, what did Jehovah tell Balaam not to do? Verse 12. What did God tell Balaam not to do first? Don't go. And God said to Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed.
Yes, for another revelation.
He wasn't satisfied with that. If Balaam had refused from then on to go with them, to pronounce this curse on God's people, we could have been talking about him in a great light today. Instead of him being a failure and turning away from God and seeing sinful and going after riches, he would have been, as I talked about it before we started this lesson, a little bit different sound, because all these other people were great, moral characters. Abraham, Moses, Isaac, Jacob. They were
that. Verse 19, chapter 22. Means you.
Like what you just said. He was looking for another answer.
Something else.
Yeah, he wasn't satisfied with the first answer.
That's denominationalism. What will you say to people? I'm not satisfied with baptism. I will faith on it.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're exactly right. Terry, so to the more, what shalt thou do? And like I say, it wasn't his heart. We're not told a lot about his heart. You kind of wish that some of the scripture here would have said, like Pharaoh's heart was hard, so was Balaam's. Then you would know that his mind had already gone. I think 2 Peter justifies that. His mind was already, what am I going to get out of this? How much, what position are you going to put me in when I come over, when we come back from this victory? How much gold, how much silver will I have? I'm sure the conversation was in the back of his mind. Balak seconded to bribe Balaam. He sent greater princes with gold and silver, I guess, verse 15 through 17, right before that verse 19 was reading. Great honor. Whatsoever thou sayest unto me, come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. If Balak would give me his house full of gold and silver, I cannot go, Lord of my Lord, to do no less and do no more. If that story had stopped right there in verse 18, we've been using him for a great example. But like we said, he wasn't satisfied with that answer and asked the Lord again what to do. The Lord's not going to force us to do anything today. A lot of people talk about the Holy Ghost made me do this and that. We are in control of our own lives. We made up our minds to be here today. We made up our minds to come back later. Many of us, I think, have already made plans for next week. Lord willing, we will be here. And I appreciate that more than each day. Appreciate that. The verse 12, Balaam's reply was basically, he could not go. Whatever God had said, the Lord my God said, I can do no less and no more. That's exactly what we need to do. Whatever God says, no less, no more. Why did Balaam ask the men to tarry for the night? We just talked about that. I think we hit that on the head. Wasn't satisfied with the first answer. Didn't trust the Lord. Looking for something else, something new. Obviously, his heart was not right. The story of Balaam and his donkey, we went over that quite a bit. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way. Ran to the field, was beat. Got back on the path, went a little ways further in the vineyards, and turned aside, crushing, eventually crushing Balaam's foot against the wall. He got angry, wished he had a sword that he could kill the donkey. And the donkey speaks to him. Verse 30, when the ass is speaking to Balaam. A lot of times I think that's the way we need to back up and think about other people that we work with. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it sounded bad. But am I not that ass upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine own until this day? All the service he had served up to that day, he'd been in Balaam's mind the perfect animal, apparently. But here, something was wrong, something was different. And even Balaam says, do I ever want to do it to thee like this? And he said, nay. So Balaam saw it, and then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, saw the angel of the Lord. The angel of the Lord tells Balaam, if he had continued on, I would have killed you. But the ass had saved his life. Turning aside, turning away, stopping, laying down, and being beaten. Why did Balaam go in spite of all the warnings of God? We just read in 2 Peter 2. The wages of unrighteousness is what he was after. He wanted his riches. He wanted this position. Why did Balak dismiss Balaam? Because he did not pronounce a curse on the children of Israel. He pronounced a blessing. Flip over, if you will, to chapter 24 of Numbers. The reference there, what kind of death did Balaam wish to die, and how does the New Testament refer to Balaam? Not well at all. But one of the references here in this reading, verse 17 points out the star of Jacob. It's in my Bible, it's got a star beside it, a prophecy, if you will, of Christ, something that's going to be foretelling the future. Verse 16, he has said, which heard the words of God and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw in a vision the Almighty falling into the trance, but having his eyes open. And I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not now. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a possession. Tyre also shall be a possession of thine enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth in the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of all nations, but his latter end shall be that he perished forever. And he looked to the Kenites, took his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thou puttest up thy nest by a rock, or in a rock. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted, until Uzzah shall carry thee away captive. And he took the parable and said to Alice, who shall live with God doeth this, and ships shall come from the coast of Smitham, and shall afflict Asher, and shall afflict Ember, and he shall perish forever. And Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and went away also. these sayings came to pass, but this, if you will, in prophecy was out of the Israelite nation would come Jesus. Obviously, I think that's even in this the old numbers of this passage. All these things are still pointing toward Christ. We talked about, I think last Wednesday night maybe, or somebody mentioned, keep your eyes on Christ or your eyes on Jesus. Been in some yards around here. Hopefully, something I've said today or something we read and stick with us for a couple of days. We've got where I work, we're doing a month of learning, and it's said that in lectures we only retain about 10% of what we hear, or about 90% of the next 24 hours. So, sadly, most of what we said is here today, we're going to keep reading it, keep restudying it. Within a day or two, we're going to forget it unless we read it for ourselves over and over. Again, thank you for your presence and your reading. I definitely appreciate that. Like I said, more and more each time. Thank you.
If I was starting a school of preachers, I'd start with Balaam and his story. I think that these preachers are responsible for that. And yet there's so many preachers that told it. These passages.
Definitely their own thing. That was a little different.